No, I don't see it. That's a shame. Oh well.
It'd be lovely if it was one of those things that you could see with a connection tool, but I don't think so. Alright, whatever. Whatever it had in it, it probably was just chemicals. So I'm not too bothered by the loss of the thing. It's honestly the resources required to make another one that's the worst part. I should have thought about it. But yeah, what happened is I like picked it up, my character swam for a bit, and then switched to his hammer, and then there was no chest anywhere, and it's just like, well, never mind. That's just
that's pretty much what happened to me as well with the gatherer things. It could even have flown off into the water.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm down here. I wanted to restock on our, I guess, kind of our fuel supply. Mostly our glue supply, because we're going to need a lot of glue.
Right.
And this time we're not super far away from it all, so... I should be able to get down in here and grab everything that we need. Ah.
Currently, I'm just moving items around near to the gathering thing, so that we can get a load of wood, make a nice big platform, and then just start putting things down for good, rather than have to worry about relocating. That being said, you know, we don't actually know yet whether this is going to be safe from enemies, so
Yep.
it may all be for naught.
Well, even if it isn't, they're going to have to come from land, and they're all going to come from one direction, so we could potentially just make a bunch of traps on the shore that just mash the bots.
That would make sense, yeah.
I could be wrong, but like I'm pretty sure they will. And so yeah, we could just have a bunch of saw blades that descend from a framework or something.
Oh, someone in chat is saying the bots can swim.
I know some of them can. I don't know how many of them can swim, and how many of them will swim. But if it truly doesn't work, then we just find somewhere else. Or we just make it work anyway. One other metric is the bots will only attack if you have more than 9 crops growing at a time. So you could specifically just say, well, alright, let's just have small amounts of crops growing at any given time and just bypass the whole thing entirely.
Always the fun of that, though.
Yeah. People are also saying maybe only the green ones. Because I know the orange ones are the only ones that seem susceptible to water. You can actually throw a bucket of water at them.
And it damages them.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
they will.
Amazing.
I think they just get stunned, but you know, that's good enough.
Dear Lord, that tree across the lake, though. That is a honking great huge tree.
Yep.
There's a part of my brain that is like, can it be harvested, though?
I don't think it can be harvested, but I'd love to make a tree house, but I'm going to wait on that until flight is possible. I think we actually are pretty close to another big tree on our side of the river, too. River? Lake. Chat, the chest that I lost was not on a lift. It was just sitting on the car, but then I picked it up, which removes it, and then it bugs out. So, wherever that chest is, it is not where I was.
There we go. Having to try and be sparing with the amount of wood I'm using to create this platform.
We can get more. Saw blades are actually really cheap.
Oh, right. Yeah, we can make saws.
Yeah. So I might honestly spend some time specifically making a tree mulcher.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty awesome, to be fair. A faster way of gathering resources. Yeah.
Because we've got
It's
two
funny
of the
you say
resource
that, actually, 'cause
collectors.
it's what
I mean-
Sheilab and I were spent like all day yesterday working on Imperium. Just making hovers that could gather resources. It's the first thing you want, really.
Let's see. By the way, if you haven't noticed the timer in the top left,
Mm-hmm.
that is actually just the day clock. So
Yeah.
at 24 they will attack. So direct
Oh,
midnight.
right. Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. Because you did mention that they would only attack at midnight.
Also, they will not break our munch thing, but they will
Really?
break our resource collectors. Yeah, so our craft bot, any kind of... Damn it, I did it again, didn't I?
What?
I just lost one of our resource collectors. Do not carry anything near the water.
Yeah, we need a drawbridge, basically.
Yeah. There we go. I was just going to attach it to the car.
Right.
Well, at least they're cheap. I was going to attach it to the car so nothing could break them.
Yeah, because the car's out in the water.
Yep. Because I figured that'd be a safe place for the car. Which is true. But, alright, whatever.
Not as much for the resource collectors, though.
Yep.
I don't worry. Like you said, they're cheap to replace, so.
Yep.
Well, I've got something of a platform for us to spend the night on. There we go. 4 more in-game hours.
Yep. Which it is 1 minute to 1 hour.
Right.
Easy conversion. Let's see.
What's happening?
Oh, I just need more beeswax. I'm realizing there's actually not many rocks around here.
I'm carrying 11 on me.
Yeah. I just want to make a I want to make my own car at some point, so we can have one
Oh,
for
yeah,
mining and one
absolutely.
for tree chopping, so we can
Yep.
split the load a little bit. And unfortunately, yeah, we need. Ideally, I'd like to go for the big tires next, so need 32. A little bit more.
Yeah, well, I'm back over on this side again.
I have to eat some food at some
Do
point.
they always come from this, like, you mentioned they do come from the same direction, but do they always come from the same direction?
They will
like,
come from
in
any
terms of the-
direction. I'm assuming they're gonna. So they will always take the shortest path to you. And I'm thinking
Right.
maybe if our farms are entirely decentralized, we'll get lucky and we'll get lucky and they'll just only come from the shoreline. At which point we can
Okay.
just line up with ranged weapons or, you know, traps on that specific side. Because on my end, in my solo run, I put all of my farms in the gas station itself, like kind of where the cars would normally go. And the answer is, they would come from any direction, so I had to guard from all directions. And then they'd chop my tires off, which was just so mean.
Alright, it looks like we've got 1 minute and a half to go. I think that's enough to settle down, have a cup of tea, you know. Appreciate the starless sky. What the hell? Why are there no stars in the sky?
Somebody's just
Deeply
been...
concerning.
I mean, it could just be the cricket insurrection all over again. Anytime I'm playing a game and there's no stars in the sky, I'm immediately reminded of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I'm like, I should reread that again. But those books are so dense.
They are a bit worth it, but they are. It's definitely something you want to have quite a bit of free time to do.
I think that was actually like the first novel I ever read, which was
really?
Yeah. I was just at the library and I go by and it has, you know, the iconic green alien on the cover, and I'm like, that looks fun, and I just read the entirety of the first 3 books. And then eventually I was just like, yeah, this got kind of boring and I don't get it anymore. I was also like 9.
The first English novel that I read was Lord of the Rings. The second English novel I read was Dune. And all of the books. Though I hadn't, like, I don't even think his son had written the 3 precursors. Oh, here they are. And straight in the water they go. Yeah, the
really
little ones
slow.
are just swimming quite happily.
Yeah, so the green ones swim. But it's still fish in a barrel as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, so... Oh. Interesting, the green ones are a little bit more threatening.
In water.
Still. If we could get a potato gun or multiple potato guns, this would get real funny.
You just plink them from the side.
The other thing is, I bet they can't go underwater, so we could actually turn this little farming island into a fort, and then cover... Oh, we could cover the whole thing in saw blades right at the water level.
That would be amazing.
That would be great. Alright, well, that's it. Those are the only guys that are spawning.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's only that initial wave that we have to contend with. So we can get back on with our lives.
Do the waves get bigger and more threatening as time goes on?
I think it's kind of random, mostly proportional to how many crops you have. But
okay.
That's all I know.
Where's the resource machine? I see behind the crafting box. I like it. All right. So, what is the next focus for us then?
Probably refine a drill machine, get a saw machine, replace the one resource collector that I deleted from existence. And honestly get a lot more component kits, because ideally we want to start upgrading, like max tier engine, and we're going to want like pistons, and then eventually, seeing as you are very, very dedicated to this boat and or flying machine idea, we're going to need some kind of thrusters, and each thruster is 10 at the start, but they're super weak. So if you want to have any upward momentum, you're going to need, I'm going to say about 50 component kits, give or take.
Right, yep.
Okay. I apologize. I'm going to have to mute myself on Discord a little bit. I'll be back in a bit.
No worries, buddy.
All right. Hi, guys. How you doing? Triple raid. So thank you, Retro, Alexa, and Rhapsody for the raid. How you guys doing tonight? God, dang it. I'm trying to climb this thing, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. Well, today, this morning for some of you, I'm pretty sure. What time is it, Rhapsody? Are you, like, an enforced early bird to cope with everybody else? So I actually have no idea what time it is in your side of the world. But how am I doing? I'm doing good. I am actually really hungry. I'm going to have to get a quesadilla soon. But I'm having a good time. I don't get to do multiplayer stuff that often, and so Avac was kind enough to agree to play Scrap Mechanic with me. As survival mode is coming out tomorrow, and I have advanced access because I'm a cool person. Okay. There we go. But yeah, welcome. And for, I guess, my audience side of things, if you haven't somehow heard of all three of those, they're the, I say the founding Wholesome Boys that I am kind of a de facto member of. I should probably be more active as part of that group, but they all do cool roguelikes. And I don't know if Rhapsody is still here. Shoot. I wanted to ask him about what he thought of the new factions, and if he got to play them. Okay. Zero's still here. Cool. Did you get the chance to mess around with the new factions much yesterday during the Good Shepherd? Umbra and Stygian. Umbra was wild with Overgorger. That's exactly what I did. I think I had like 2,000 HP by the end of it, and it was amazing. I had a X cost card that would just let me like eat one thing X number of times, and it was so good. It's so good. So you haven't heard of this game. Looks fun. It is Scrap Mechanic. It is a physics sandbox game. Originally, it was more just creative mode. You make a vehicle, you run around with it, so on and so forth. And then they've recently added a survival mode, so you have to do fishing. Well, not fishing. You have to do farming to get food. You have to gather resources to actually build your cars and stuff. It's super cool. But so the survival mode specifically will be out within 24 hours. I'm not entirely sure what time of day, but that'll be coming soon. It's a really good game. I really enjoy this. Anyway, I don't want to step away from Discord too much, and I'm not going to be able to respond while talking to Avac. But welcome. I hope you guys enjoy, and relax. Get some snacks. Let me feast vicariously through you because I'm kind of hungry. And I'm back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back, mate. No worries at all. Hope everything's okay.
Yeah, I just got raided by the Wholesome Boys, and I had to say hi, and I didn't want to.
No worries at all, buddy.
Subject your audience to me getting chatty.
No, that's fine. There we go. I'm just going to strip all of this down right now.
Are you remaking the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because right now, it's just... I mean, it
unwieldy.
Managed to haul everything over here, but let's be honest.
It works, but that's...
Yeah, that's all the positive that can be said about it.
Yep. But so, what we're going to want to do is probably just gather a boatload of metal, because we're going to need it to make some of the more advanced stuff, and, like, higher tier, more durable things.
Okay.
And then, unfortunately, we're going to need just a truly silly amount of control.
Right.
Or component kits. Gosh, I cannot think of their name. They're just the upgrade mobobs. That's it. Everything after? Yeah.
No worries, mate. Oh, actually, there was loads of resources in here. I didn't realize we even still had a chest.
Yeah, I had two. I always have two. The other one had the less useful thing. I think it had spare seeds and chemicals, all of the really replaceable stuff.
Right, okay.
So the loss of that chest was not actually that bad.
It wasn't as bad as it could have been, certainly.
I was definitely beating myself up a little bit. It's like, I just went through... Well, no, I guess I didn't just go through that. Another bug for the devs to fix eventually.
What happened?
Well, we haven't even gotten hit by the worst bugs. Some people have had like their cars just get deleted. Some people can't quit the game without like deleting their world.
Yikes.
Apparently they're kind of rare, but I know there's like a couple of other like primary scrap channels that specifically ran into huge issues with that, and effectively like have been struggling to get the game to even work instead of, you know, creating new content on the update. And it's just like, ooh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I found it to be mostly bug-free, at least tolerably bug-free, as opposed to what they seem to have to deal with. Let's see, were we playing in the same world?
From my perspective so far, it's been actually quite pleasant. There hasn't really been any kind of big issues to report.
I think I might play a little solo. Well, no, I guess I'll just be playing solo tomorrow. Just to remind myself what this game is like without the slight multiplayer jitter.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry about that.
It's no biggie. It's mostly fine. It's only really noticeable when I get too far away from you, which is generally rare. I'm just trying to do it now so I can get some more control modules. Because if we want to make your current vehicle into a mining rig and, like, actually have the full setup on it, we're going to need to max out that engine and potentially get another one that's, like, not terrible.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start with a larger vehicle to begin with.
Yeah. Ideally, it's worth planning on having both the Muncher and one of the resource collectors on it. You don't need two. I originally built one to have two, and that was actually just kind of pointless.
Okay.
Because, yeah, it turns out the Muncher actually just kind of devours everything real fast.
Well, I mean, it's in its name, so it's fair.
I just figured it would fill up and would be an issue, but the answer is nope. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'm doing a saw blade thing. I guess, do you want the mining machine or the saw machine? Because you could do either.
It doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. Which one would you find the most fun?
I've worked on mining a lot more on my end. I would like to make a thing that can effectively just down all trees easily. So I think I would like to go for the tree muncher. We are going to need considerably less wood than metal, so I might try and make it multi-purpose. But we are going to need a lot of metal. So you want to upgrade?
Now I'm just setting up a nice wide base, because if it's going to have to carry a load of weight, it seems reasonable to plan around that. Though, it is midday in-game.
What kits am I sitting on? Decent amount. For the aesthetics. There we go. I actually got a decent amount of component kits out of that one.
Nice.
I think I got 20. Yeah, I got 20.
Ruins diving, are you?
Yeah.
Ruins diving, yeah.
I guess that is the one thing we might want to have a small vehicle to get to the ruins. I've mostly just been walking it, but it would help eventually. I guess it kind of depends, because the ruins are actually, like, the resources respawn on them fairly often, so as long as you just kind of don't return to it daily, you pretty much will never have to worry about going too far to get more stuff. Let's see. Do we have a dress spot yet? Nope. But we also barely have any clothing, and definitely no cotton, so it's not super useful. Because I think I gave Avac this singular, like, bit of clothing I found, but that's not going to do him a whole lot of good. Oh. Alright. Oh, and since we have the, since we actually know where the trader is and can reach him easily, at some point we should maybe retool. We can convert one of the two mining vehicles relatively easy. There are dwarves that we can find scattered around the world that are in, like, little prison cages. And, if we rescue them, well, we need to rescue at least 2 of them per gun if we want to get the good spud guns. Oh, nothing there. You okay, Vec? I have lost him entirely. Well, if he had to step away... There he is, sitting quiet and content. The question is, do we punt him into the lake? Or do we surround him? I didn't mute myself, right? Okay. Oh, there you go. I can hear you.
Oh, there we are. Finally.
Yep. I just hear, like, keyboard noises. I'm like, hey, it's fixed. Fixed-ish.
I could hear you the entire time. I was, like, chatting with you and everything. And it was like...
Oh.
And I was like, okay, this is bizarre. And then all of a sudden you were like, we've lost him. I was like, oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, dude. It was just totally silent on my end, and I had no clue why. Let's see.
Let me see how everything else is going.
Okay, I'm gonna remake the big chest.
Okay.
You still have the drill on you, right? Yeah, you should.
Yep. Still have the drill.
Okay, and the good engine is in here. I guess we didn't need this many embers.
Trying to make a vehicle that's going to be able to sustain a larger load without beaching itself like the last one did.
Yeah, I find wide and low works really well. Switched over to my stream for a minute to let you know you're still hearing him, only to hear me plotting to box you in. Well, I mean, when it seems like somebody's gone AFK, I will surround them in a protective but slightly inconvenient box.
Protective, in air quotes.
It's protective. Could be worse.
That is true. That is a fair point. It could be. There we go. Let's make this nice and wide. I wonder what happened with Discord.
Yeah, it's always been slightly unstable. That's just kind of the nature of the thing.
Right, now I'm not sure on the dimensions that we're going to need for those boxes. Sorry, not boxes, but the machines.
Let's see. I'll tell you. Six by... I think it's 6x6 on the bottom.
We should have enough room then.
Probably 6x6x8? Or 10. I'm not entirely clear on the last.
Yeah, we should have plenty of room.
Let's see. Do we have more beeswax? We have some.
I've got 11 beeswax I can give you.
Okay, that'll give me 24. I guess I'll just do a trike for the time being.
Actually, I'll just drop them there. There you go.
There we go. Oh, I need processed wood. Oh, ironic. Make the vehicle I want. I need to make the lumberjack.
Oh, to make the
wood.
large wheels. Yeah. Yeah, it takes quite a lot because it's 40 processed wood each as well.
Yep.
It is not a cheap thing to build.
Yep. It'll get faster once I have, once it's done. Car.
Right, we are all but at the point where we need to start moving things around, I would say. And get them out of the way. We'll go ahead and I'm going to place my vehicle here on this little rocky outcropping. There you go. I should stay out of the way. Do we need to worry about the chests, out of curiosity?
No, they will not break chests. At least, not from my experience. I had my entire base out in the open last time or when I was playing solo, and the answer is just like, as far as I could tell, only a handful of things would actually get broken.
Okay. Well, that should be fine then. I mean, the thing with Scrap Mechanic is as much as it has physics, and some of the physics is actually really well modeled, like springs and stuff like that. It doesn't have structural integrity that I'm aware of. Is that right?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. You could have you could have just the widest, biggest, most ridiculous thing, or an aqueduct that goes straight through the sky. The only time you really have to worry about structural stability is when bearings are involved, because if you put something too heavy on a bearing, it'll sink down. So if you notice, the tomato was actually starting to come off.
Mm-hmm. Right. We should see our friends in just a moment. Wow, that was a good throw.
Got close. Not quite there. Ballistics are kind of nice, by the way. Namely, they will last until we log out. So we could just...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, kind of chuck them all over the place. I don't habitually make them, but they're still nice.